The UFC has a major marketing issue. Fight weeks are killing the hype of carded events. Fight nights are pushing out all the good contender fights, and we are getting no sound bites from any UFC fighters whatsoever. And the ones we do create the biggest stories in the UFC. UFC 327 was stacked to the brim. And what is the one thing we're talking about? Well, Jiri's stupidity in the main event. But outside of that, the biggest random story that we're getting, almost in line with the main event, is Josh Hokey talking all that crazy nonsense and then backing it up in the fight of the year. Trash talking creates aggressive fights, which creates great sound bites. Usually it creates animosity, which also creates great fights. And instead, we're getting great contender bouts pushed into a fight night every single week. And these carded events are so unhyped with so little trash talk that even the good ones feel mid by the time it gets to Saturday night. My inspiration for making this video is Carlos Ulberg. He went on an absolute rant to Ariel Helwani about how Jiri's a fake fighter and he's doing it all for the fans and he's just putting on the show, and what he said was absolute nonsense. Now, as a Jiri fan listening to that hurt my soul, because part of what he's saying is true, and it was incredibly annoying to hear, but he was exactly right. Maybe not about the fakeness. I think Jiri's a real samurai type guy in the UFC. But where was this on Thursday? He was talking about how he thought he was a fake for years and years. Say that then. We have one of the most hyped, at least a month ago, it was one of the best cards in the UFC, certainly this year. Hype it up. If you feel this way about your opponent, say it on the mic. He said in every comment section for Carlos Ulberg, you're getting the same quote, box office poison. And they're exactly right. If you had this animosity towards Jiri Prochazka, why was it not said in the build-up to the fight? That would have made that presser incredible. Instead, you had to have guys like Paulo Costa and Josh Hokey carrying. Be the bad guy. Where has being the bad guy gone in the UFC? Chael Sonnen made being the bad guy cool. People followed in his footsteps for years and now suddenly it's not cool. Carlos Ulberg, say what you really mean, create hype. If he was the true villain, talking this craziness about Jiri, and then went out there and did it, the hype around it would be absolutely insane. But instead, he kept it in his pocket until he got the win, and then he talked all that shit on Ariel's show, where it's getting some publicity, but nobody really cares. It's after the fact. The hype's gone. For people hating on Josh Hokey, right? Maybe it was always going to be a fight of the year. Maybe those two styles were just destined to have a sick fight. But we get fights of the years fairly frequently. There are great fights in almost every single card. Most of them people don't care about. Even if they're on the main card, they get pushed to the wayside and within a week, people have forgotten. Josh Hokey walking around like an idiot backstage, doing the dumb shit in the press conferences and all of the above is what built that up. You had a guy putting his reputation on the line and then went out there and threw fisticuffs with one of the top guys on the planet. That is what we like to see. Maybe Conor McGregor has warped our mind for what the mixed martial arts should be, but we're gone are the days where it's peaceful and you shake hands before the fights and you hug each other's family members. It's not what we want to see anymore. The calm, respectful setting has lost its value in mixed martial arts. As fans, we want to see entertainment. We want to see some sort of conflict, man. Maybe we just starved. Maybe we should just sit there, shut up and enjoy the fights. But we don't anymore. Conor McGregor treats us to something special where he would talk shit and then back it up. I don't even need guys to back it up. Just talk shit. Then we're invested whether you win or lose. It's the Floyd Mayweather effect. And fighters are not going out of the way to make themselves entertaining. Some fighters are just boring. But especially what I just heard from Carlos Ulberg, that would have been real entertainment, and he saved it till it's too late. It's like having Moicano fight at the Apex main event. You lose all of Moicano's value. Moicano looked great, but Moicano's fight style and stylistic ability is what it is. He is the fighter he is going to be. But where his value truly is having him talk shit on the mic at a carded event. If he was in the lineup for UFC 326, maybe we'd get something out of them. But instead, it's like pulling teeth watching Charles Oliveira and Max Holloway try to talk trash. Sometimes you don't even need to talk trash. Paddy Pimblett was not the most excessive when he was talking about Justin Gaethje. Sure, he was talking about how he was going to beat him and that he felt very confident. But it was just entertainment. The way he was moving, there was an aura. And some people just have that superstar ability, alright? Not everybody can be Paddy Pimblett, but you can be authentically yourself. The biggest problem I have with this is that Carlos Ulberg clearly didn't like Jiri and he wasn't authentically showing it to the fans. That's all we ask for as fans. Go out there and fight and be yourself on the mic. You'll be a superstar. And maybe people don't want to be that. And that's fair enough. Maybe he just wants to be the best UFC fighter he can possibly be. But it's depriving fans of entertainment, and this is what we need. This is why the pay-per-view model died. This is why the UFC isn't selling tickets. Outside of the hype previously going into it, where you simply look at the rap sheet and look at the matchups that you've got going on, the most hyped fight week this entire year was Strickland versus Hernandez, because Strickland was making it entertaining. When you do not make an entertaining fight week, whatever hype you had going into it, it made it mid. UFC 327 was a great card. It lived up to the hype, but the fight week killed it off. Jiri did nothing, Carlos did nothing. Hookit honestly saved it. Josh Hookit actually saved the fight build-up that week. And so did Paulo Costa. Asmat Mirzakhanov gave the best he can do in a non-English speaking tone, but the main card, the main event fighters have to be doing something to increase the promotional value of the UFC, because right now it's dying a slow death. Let me know what you guys think. Do you like the old version of mixed martial arts fighters where they just shut up and fight and they're nothing but respectful? Or do you need to see that entertainment grab just before a fight, create that extra animosity, and usually that leads to hyped wars like we got with Curtis Blades versus Josh Hockett? Please like and subscribe for more.